truth by creating an incentive for untruth. Far from caring about the harmful effects of algorithms, the social media companies and their allies stroke competitors in the press rely on them, I think, to make money. I see three main problems. First, the marketing of hatred. The case of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle forcefully makes the point. The data analyst's bot Sentinel looked at 114,000 Twitter posts about the couple since January 2020 and found two things. Firstly, that 55 accounts had been set up solely to post negative material about them, and 28 more accounts had been set up to amplify those messages. And secondly, that the Twitter algorithm, which suggests people you might want to follow, urged someone who had viewed one hate account or message to follow several others. These 83 accounts were responsible for 70% of the negative content targeted on the couple. One account posted 111,031 messages about them. Bot Sentinel reckons there are 264 single-purpose hate accounts solely targeting Harry and Meghan. To the innocent bystander, it looks like the whole world hates Harry and Meghan. No, there we are. But this is not just ordinary, spontaneous or altruistic hatred. It is deliberate and coordinated. It uses social media recommender systems to amplify hatred. Like all clickbait, it uses hatred to entice people to follow a link to an article on another client web page where money is to be made. Which is how it knowingly monetizes hatred, as shown by the network of YouTube channels that notched up 497 million views and $3.48 million on the back of hateful and inaccurate material about Meghan alone. 3 YouTube channels, Yankee Wally, Murky Meg, and according to Taz, had more than 70 million views and earned $494,730, all on the back of hatred of Meghan. The same goes for UK newspapers that fill their online sites with hateful Meghan material. It is becoming their richest clickbait scene, apart perhaps from the sidebar of shame on Mail Online. It drives viewing and earns advertising income, which is why so many British opinion writers pen so much drivel about the couple, not because the story matters, it doesn't, not because the writer genuinely cares about it, they don't, but because it makes money. That is not journalism. It's a perversion of journalism, and yet again it means that the press see other people's lives as commodities to be traded.
Thank you, Mr. Chris Bryant, for your insightful words. Everything you've just shared is the absolute truth, and it resonates deeply with all of us who care about the integrity of our public discourse and the preservation of basic human dignity. We need more leaders like Chris Bryant in the public sphere. Leaders who aren't afraid to speak out against injustice and confront the very real issues that plague our society. Leaders like him, who can stand up with the courage to protect not only our rights, but the people who are systematically targeted by misinformation, hatred, and false narratives. It's leaders like Chris Bryant, a Member of Parliament who hold the title of Minister of State for Data Protection and Telecoms, as well as the Minister of State for Creative Industries, Arts and Tourism, who give us hope for a more just, transparent and compassionate society. But let us take a moment to reflect on the harsh reality of what is currently unfolding in the world of media and public perception, especially when it comes to high-profile figures like
Welcome to C News, your trusted source for breaking stories, in-depth analysis, and all the latest updates shaping our world. From politics to pop culture, sports to global events, we deliver news that matters, fast and reliable. Stay informed, stay connected. This is C News. Chris Bryant, the outspoken Labour MP and chair of the Standards and Privileges Committee, has launched a scathing critique against what he describes as the toxic and relentless media campaign targeting Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. In an impassioned speech during a parliamentary session, Bryant accused certain sectors of the media of fueling a culture of hate and divisiveness under the guise of journalistic freedom. He began by highlighting the disproportionate attention Meghan and Harry have received since stepping back from royal duties in 2020. This is not scrutiny, this is a witch hunt, Bryant said. He pointed out that while public figures should expect some level of examination, the level of vitriol aimed at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex has crossed the line into obsession. It's bullying, plain and simple, he added, his voice rising as he described the damaging impact this unrelenting media focus has had on the couple and their family. Bryant drew attention to specific instances of media coverage that, in his view, were deliberately incendiary. He cited headlines that distorted facts, narratives designed to pit Meghan against other members of the royal family, and an apparent refusal by some outlets to allow the couple to move on with their lives. The press seems to thrive on turning Meghan and Harry into caricatures, with Meghan often cast as the villain of the piece, he said. This kind of coverage is not just unethical, it's dangerous. The MP didn't hold back in criticizing the double standards he believes Meghan has faced compared to other members of the royal family. He pointed to examples where similar actions by other royals were praised or overlooked but were twisted into controversies when it came to Meghan. Let's be honest, Bryant said. The underlying issue here isn't just about a royal stepping back from duties. It's about race, gender, and the uncomfortable reality that some people can't accept a black woman having a voice in a space they feel she doesn't belong. Bryant also took aim at social media platforms for amplifying hate-filled content, accusing them of failing to act responsibly. Algorithms reward outrage. They reward lies. They reward hate, he said. The platforms know this, and yet they do nothing because outrage drives engagement, and engagement drives profit. He called for stricter regulations to hold tech companies accountable for the content they allow to spread on their platforms. In a particularly pointed moment, Bryant addressed the argument often made by tabloids that their coverage reflects public interest. There is a difference between what the public is interested in and what is in the public interest, he said. Feeding the public a steady diet of bile about Meghan and Harry isn't journalism, it's a circus designed to sell papers and generate clicks. The MP also touched on the broader consequences of such media behavior, warning that it not only harms the individuals involved but also erodes trust in journalism as a whole. When the public sees this kind of behavior from the press, they start to question the credibility of all media. That's not just bad for journalism, it's bad for democracy, he said. Bryant ended his speech with a call for a collective reflection on the role of the media in shaping societal attitudes. We have to ask ourselves, what kind of society do we want to be? Do we want to be one that builds people up or one that tears them down for sport? He urged his colleagues in Parliament, as well as the public, to push back against what he described as a culture of cruelty, and to demand better from the press. His remarks were met with mixed reactions. Some applauded his courage in addressing an issue many politicians shy away from, while others dismissed his comments as an overreaction. Nevertheless, Bryant's words have reignited a broader debate about press freedom, accountability, and the ethical responsibilities of the media in modern society.